I'd say, because I'd maybe favor some ultimates over it for sure, but yeah, I think of all of the dashes in Smite, and maybe, as you said, just all of the abilities, it's probably one of the craziest. In fact, you get to sit inside of a wall for a few seconds. I think it's one of the only ways to get rid of a new wall ultimate as well, and other kinds of nonsense like that. But doesn't matter with the new wall. We're here right now with the Jade Dragons and the Olympus Bolts. We'll take it over to the casters to bring us the action.
It's time for the match of the week, and it's the Jade Dragons and the Olympus Bolts going at it. My name is Dolson Mifflin. Is with me. Doug, of course, will be bringing us Final K dodges it all.
Fine, okay. Showing you a masterclass on why you don't open up the shop while you're backing. I feel bad for Haddix, though. Legitimately plays perfectly there. It just has to hope that his auto attacks hit hard enough. PBM should be able to retreat. Dragon Transformation might be forced out here, but very low kill potential onto this Fafnir.
Final K, remember, was able just to go back to base, so has been able to buy that tier 2 item. So maybe fight potential for the Jade Dragons here in this one. Awesome Jake stunned on through. There's fighting on the left side of this one as well. We are split here. Hurrywind all alone. He's going to go down. It's Venenu finds first blood in this game. Awesome Jake stunned by PBM over the wall, who will leap away. Final K has to back off as well. And all of this Barracuda, thanks to a little bit of the rotation that we saw from him a minute ago. So it's definitely nothing backbreaking the XP department. But that gold has quickly started to build up here for the Bolts, who are 2,000 ahead. PBM has to leap away here. Axe no good. Through space and time, no good. Barracuda wants to continue fighting. The damage is there. And the transformation will buy PBM a little bit of time, but the portal from Venenu on the other side seals his fate. And the Bolts find their second kill.
That's so tough for Mike, man. Venenu with that rotation so clean is able to close the gap. Thanatos does fall off, air quotes, in the late game because he doesn't have that exact one-shot potential that he does in the early, but no matter what, it's still an execute. It's going to do 40% of someone's HP bar if they are in threshold range. Well, it looks like a neutral objective switch here.
If Haddix can steal this, could get interesting. Oni Fury taken down by the Bolts, and Haddix doesn't steal it, but he effectively does the same thing. Oh, it's a massive through space and time in the mid lane. Goodbye, Hurrywind. And suddenly this game has caught a little bit of fire as the Oni Fury goes down, and Venenu hits the big chunky damage there on the Jade Dragons mid laner, and the Pyromancer gets pulled. Nope, Fire Giant gets pulled.
The biggest neutral objective. How's that feel, Hurrywind? Yeah, it's not so fun when you're on the receiving end of it. Now Olympus Bolts with 35 seconds making a power play.
Final K around the corner, gets plucked off to the side. Hovering death from Sanford Soccer.
They got it.
Be in time for a steal. Does he crash down on the back line? No, he crashes down onto Haddix, but Panda Cat locked in place, and Awesome Jake gets the kill, and now Sanford Soccer run into the hills, but Lasbro wags his finger and says no way. Final K, the healthiest member on the Dragons, is losing it quickly here. PBM will head back to base, but the Olympus Bolts have broken this game wide open. FG +3.
And with the slow pace of this one, look how many gold. Oh, I call them gold now.
Dragons is going to have to rotate right, and that is the furthest rotation inside of the base instead of just being able to go over to the mid lane. So a small advantage there once that minion wave crashes on it. Oh my, Mike plucked, and 80% of his HP is gone. Oh, it's a massive ultimate into a double portal, but can you get the kills on the back end? The Olympus Bolts say yes please to Hurrywind, and Lasbro's got the first. What a 1-2 punch from the Bolts.
Left side, Phoenix falls immediately afterward, and the Bolts, with Hurrywind dead, are moving into the center. They've got 50 seconds to play with.
And they don't have Hurrywind. The Jade Dragons don't for those 50 seconds, so the Olympus Bolts got that numbers advantage, and they've got the Phoenix advantage as well. All 5 ultimates down, though, for the Olympus Bolts. The Jade Dragons have got all ultimates for all players that are still on the map. Fire minions pouring down right, regular minions working in left. Can the Jade Dragons be blanked in game number 1? Mike's got something to say about it. It's a hovering death from Sam for Soccer as well. Big taunts in for Final K on the left, and the stuns from the 4 are there. But Venenu has shut down Sam for Soccer once more. The Titan is crumbling, and the Jade Dragons will not find a kill in game 1.
What a commanding game from the Olympus Bolts, controlling the pace, controlling the neutral objectives, and legitimately,
it's just going to be completely evaporated. Is that just going to be the name of the game for the Jade Dragons here for their win conditions? Just play around objectives?
I think that that's primarily what they're looking for here, but they also have great tank killers in general. I think that that's something that can touch on lightly. Rum and Soul and Nemesis, they'll shred any tank.
We'll see if they can shred the tanks and shred the Bolts to bring us to game 3, or are the Bolts going to close it out in 2? We'll take it to Dolson and Mifflin to find out.
Wow, the Dragons get 0 kills in game number 1, and they find themselves down.
The majority of their damage from their autos, and it's only pushed further by Coerce. Well, they're doing a lot less now.
Uh-oh, Sanford Soccer in a bad spot here. The tether will stun, but there's a lot of damage on Lasbra.
Good
who
ult.
has to use Ward of the Afterlife to get away. Sanford Soccer tossed to the wayside, and Venenu on the fadeaway gets first blood. He'll transform into Cerberus here, use the disengage to leap away. Haddix eats the jump from PBM. And the Jade Dragons come up empty-handed. Olympus Bolts yet again find first blood.
Nice trigger, a little bit longer than the snipes. Really can ring true, but maybe it's Mike in some trouble.
PBM takes the Stygian Torment. Oh, look at the leap right back in. He'll use the transformation. He's buying himself a little bit of time, but Haddix says no way. And PBM falls for the second kill this game, and Haddix now on the board.
Then finds the snipe. Stygian Torment is good. Sanford Soccer is not able to keep chasing out that kill, but he does find Lasbra in the back.
And the Jade Dragons get their first kill of the set. Haddix and Awesome Jake, they're not out of dodge just yet, and Sanford Soccer reminding Jake of it. He's still on the chase, but will chase no further. Now a chance to take away some of this back farm from Lasbra, who's dead, back in base for the next 5 seconds. And here's that early objective shred that we knew the Jade Dragons have. Tier 1 tower down. 9 minutes in.
Barracuda a little bit slow on the rotation, but Panda Cat rolling forward puts himself in a poor position, forced to use the beads.
Barracuda's got to carry the rest of this fight with his damage. Panda Cat's got to do the same as well. Barra turns around, dashes away with his ultimate, but what does Haddix have? He's not got a chance, that's for sure. And Panda Cat evens up the kills here. Jade Dragons keep things competitive. Maybe in a minute. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here.
Stop cursing it, man.
Yeah, there we go, baby. Panda Cat has pulled it. I'm right this time. It's a transformation from PBM, but the Olympus Bolts close by. A fight brewing around the corner here.
Reset.
Unless it's not, as we get a bit of a reset from Awesome Jake. Leap over the wall from Haddix. Gonna root down onto Fine-OK, who gets a stun onto Haddix in the back line, though. Lasbra's alone with Hurrywind here, who uses the beads to get out of the stun. What's happened to Fine-OK? Well, he's been left alone, says I. Big whirlwind of rage and steel sends Hurrywind right back to the Olympus Bolts. Backside is Sanford Soccer, though, trying to get a kill on Barracuda, but he won't get it.
Haddix finally circles back and picks up the kill, and Panda Cat takes out Lasbra on the back end. Barracuda forced to use the beads, but it's the Olympus Bolts for Hurrywind because he was surrounded by his team, but it didn't seem like it, did it? The Olympus Bolts were allowed to do anything they wanted. Barracuda almost takes out Panda.
Minions, go! Oh, the minions don't get it. Does Panda Cat have his ultimate? No, he does not. So Barracuda's still alive. Fine-OK plucks Venenu. Naturally, that matters because the rest of the Jade Dragons are right there. I didn't see him, and Venenu didn't either. He comes to save his ADC's life, but pays for it with his own. And now PBM will transform as Awesome Jake and Haddix try to disengage. Big Stygian Torment from Haddix, but how much does it matter? Not much at the moment, because another pluck finds its way into Awesome Jake.
Watch Lasbra, who just joins the engagement, isolating Fine-OK with the slows. We're taking a lot of damage from
Hurrywind spreading the damage out evenly, and the Olympus Bolt starting to melt under the pressure, but the Odysseus Bow doing some work here for Barracuda. Attack speed stim anyway. Then you got a Shogun Skusari. Then you've got an upgraded Frenzy. The Jade Dragons are going to be swinging. Unfortunately, the Coerce might not be there for this fight. Mike transforms after popping the Frenzy in the back. Goes Haddix, the whirlwind of rage and steel.
Still alive?
Sends PBM right on back.
What?
Oh my god, Mike jumps away and live on he does. Venenu has to use the transformation here to get some damage in on the Fine-OK as Awesome Jake plucked on back and Hurrywind picks up the kill.
Jake has got to be dumbfounded right now. Tosses Mike at 1/100th HP into the rest of his team, and Mike's now accosting Lasbra in the lane. It shouldn't have happened. Mike is playing with a life that he does not have.
And PBM with the wherewithal to pop the Frenzy before he transforms to keep himself alive gave the Jade Dragons an initial pushback there in that fight. So the World Tour of Lasbra begins. And this is just a bit of chase down, maybe to delay things. The slow does connect, but then Lasbra's got a slow of his own, a stun of his own as well. This one's going to go on for a while. These are always fun to follow along with. Another slow on a Sanford Soccer. Do you know how to do the Benny Hill music, just like off the top of your head? Can I bait you into that?
Do you want me to sing Benny Hill like the guitar riff?
Or is it? Wait, maybe Benny Hill's not the right one.
No, that's the chase music.
All right, so now we've got 2 players in this game that have lived with like 10% HP. I don't know if anyone
5,000 gold in the hole. And it is actually the Jade Dragons starting it up. 21 minutes into this game. First Fire Giant pool.
Upgraded Frenzy in 4 seconds. PBM transforms, jumps onto Haddix. I'm keeping my eyes on the silver branch down the bottom of the screen for Panda Cat. Let's see how high that number can get. It's a pluck onto Haddix, and Fino K has not missed many this game. Lurking in the waters, mitigates Stygian Torment. As Sanford Soccer walks towards the back, what's happened to Lasbra's health bar? It's gone, Dave, it's gone. Awesome Jake sends one on back, and it's Sanford Soccer who takes out the support for the Olympus Bolts, and those couple of picks, Smith, right around the FG, you have to imagine might open up the objective.
It has to right now and steal the objective, but it's not a team fight anymore. It is legitimately a steal attempt. That's, oh goodness, there's one more death that I wasn't accounting for just yet. Barracuda falls
that's on
at
you,
the tail end of that one. And
you didn't see it, Myth? Come
no,
on.
I must be some sort of idiot. JADE Dragons, 5 members alive and incredibly
Watch
healthy.
out for the big old spread coerce.
He's palling.
That has now caught a couple of targets. Venenu reveals where he is on the back. There was a ward there anyway. And without really any pushback, Myth, the right side Phoenix is gone. Here's the engage from Sam. Yeah, your prayers are not going to get answered. Venenu, he'll transform the light steal from the build, keeps them on the map. And maybe that's what the Bolts need.
Awesome Jake blinks his way forward, but finds nothing. It's just Haddix getting shredded.
Wow, Barracuda, goodbye, PBM. He'll get the kill. Panda Cat will have one as well. The Olympus Bolts their hopes in game 2, dashed by the wayside as they are routed by the JADE Dragons. Apparently, Myth, we're not going to have a close one here. These two teams are going to steamroll one another. JADE Dragons are able to answer back in game 2.
Hey, we get a little example there at the tail end. Olympus Bolts try again to shut down Hurrywind, and what, like 50 HP, yet again, Hurrywind uses the Saporate and walks on out of that engagement.
That might be kind of the most out there one that I can think for it, because I don't think you put Serket in solo. I don't see a world where that actually works out. Fenrir kind of can, but it's a little bit more difficult for him. Maybe does have double mobility, so he's got some safety within it, but still, assassin versus warrior, those warriors just going to scale a little bit harder as far as their tankiness goes. Looking at these two compositions, where's the win condition? Well, we might just hold that one. We won't discuss any of the win conditions. We'll actually get to see it on the battleground as Dulcin and Mifflin take us there.
Right, JADE Dragons in the Olympus Bolts, game number 3.
Bringing up that maybe we might see a little bit of the 408 on Serket, but it is going to be Fenrir support this time around, and Haddix piloting the Cerberus.
Was there ever a real chance of that?
Well, I mean, we've seen Serket support. We haven't seen the 408 do it.
Well, this is why you put Awesome Jake on Fenrir. He drops Horrific Emblem. Panda Cat running away. A couple more odds, baby. Yeah, first blood for the Bolts. Less than a minute into game.
Wait, hold on.
Could be worse. Mike takes the stun. Not enough damage, but the damage is done. Haddix is going to rotate out of the solo lane here. Maybe help out Lasbra, who's now topped off. It's a taunt in. Sanford Soccer, half HP. Haddix is not there, but it's a Thunder Crash in from Venenu. Raiju, no good. Beads on the other side. Lasbra waits out for the blink, and he's got it back up. 2 kills on the board now for the Olympus Bolts.
Sam thought he had done enough damage to Lasbra to keep him out, but early on, the 250 health you get from an HP potion is just enough. Fine, okay,
I don't know if he has Thunder Crash, Venenu. Now he does, and it goes back towards Lasbra. Had to use the beads, though, than they were in game 2. Compositionally, though, are the answers there from the Bolts that weren't quite there in game 2? Do you think the Bolts have the ability to actually fight against this JADE Dragons comp in a way that they couldn't?
Yeah.
It's going to help if Hurrywind is down in the dirt. Venenu's got now a kill on the board, and the Olympus Bolts continue to roll.
I think it's very clear what the difference is right now, Dave. It's Lasbra's much more comfortable on this Serket pick. It's been one of his comfort picks so far in Season 8, and for a good reason here. He's not only clearing camps faster, he's getting involved earlier on. Very early in game 2, we saw that Osiris fall behind and didn't really do much after that, did he? He didn't have much damage. He wasn't able to really utilize that tankiness to create space, but now Lasbra on a pick that he's very good at is making his stamp known.
Panda Cat around the corner in the Harpy Pit as Awesome Jake gets jumped on. He'll
juke.
brutalize back. Panda Cat has his ultimate. Horrific Emblem dropped, but Panda Cat drops Jake in return. And the JADE Dragons will get their first kill of the game. That's just a bit of a bait and switch there. Final K 2 levels down.
Is a 1 level deficit up against Barracuda, who is going to have the 1v1 advantage. CC immunity on the Caledonian board means that Dark Portal never works.
Stygian Torment forces the beads from Sanford Soccer and Final K. Great
no way
there. Lasbro's gone in, but he takes another tower shot. Final K just shy on the up down, but he's got the tick damage onto Sam. And what a play from Lasbro to jump under the tower, take the tower shot, and get out alive. PBM's going to rotate in, gets the hammer onto Haddix. Fine, okay, is low here, has enough mana for the stun. It connects, But I don't think Mike has the damage, and Haddix doesn't either.
Haddix holds on to his leap there, knowing that if he uses it...
Probably a lot less than half, but, you know, call it half just for the sake of making a storyline.
I'm calling it half.
Just for the sake of a storyline.
For the sake of a storyline.
Lasbra's had an immense impact on this game, and it is going to get worse for the Jade Dragons. It's another taunt in, another kill. On the left side of the map, though, a chance to push the lead that Panda Cat got with that one individual kill. Jake will brutalize away.
So they can just commit to the objective itself. It's going to be a lot of micro play right here, a chess match, if you would, as these two teams vie for positioning around the Oni Fury. Pit is controlled by the Olympus Bolts, and that is the start as well. Burning slowly. Jade Dragons, though, close enough.
Poor Bear Mike and Awesome Jake exchange leaps, but Mike is into the snake pit here, and Barracuda makes him pay. It's big damage from Hurrywin, but Hurrywin has taken a lot of damage as well. Final K may have just saved his team life, but he has to pay for it with his own. Venenu on a killing spree here. It is a 2 for none, and the Olympus Bolts will get the Fury.
Mike is simply not allowed to make that play. You cannot leap in like that. It's going to be chunking right now.
Here we go. Olympus Bolts start some damage onto the FG. Jade Dragons coming back from base. Sanford Soccer a little bit slower. It's a jump onto PBM by both Awesome Jake and Haddix. Frenzy gets used by Mike this time. Awesome Jake is taking some good damage here. Haddix is trying to pull one back in, but instead Hurrywind will use his beats. Ragnarok looking for a target, and Hurrywind is that target. Can Panda Cat kite backwards and get a kill? No, he can't. Sanford Soccer finally gets a kill on the board for the Jade Dragons, but that's all the Jade Dragons have got. Final K on one side. You've got Panda Cat and Hurrywind running away on another. It's another fight win for the Bolts.
Watch Van clear out this wave and try and heal up. I got Mike. He's a dragon right now. Yeah, so nobody's in range to follow up, and now the Jade Dragons surging forward.
Mike doesn't have his ult or the Frenzy. Awesome Jake doesn't have his ult, but does have the Frenzy and the Horrific Emblem. Sanford Soccer being burned away by Haddix, but there could be a collapse from the Jade Dragons. Final K locks a couple into his cage as Haddix leaps away on the back line of this fight. Hurrywind kiting on backwards. Panda Cat with the dash away, drops his ultimate, but it's not enough. As Lasper gets the first kill of the engagement, Final K will get burned away as well. It felt like a matter of time, and the Olympus Bolts will pick up 2.
Haddix comes up in a big way. It looked like the Jade Dragons were collapsing on him, but a double stun into a triple Stygian.
Notches in the health bar that you see are under threat if it's not a clean and quick enough dive from the Olympus Bolts. But there's still the Venenu issue, who is 4-0-5. How do you deal with the Raijin? Awesome Jake walks in, finds no one with the Ragnarok. Frenzy is there from Polar Bear Mike. And now it's the Fenrir who has to walk away. Hurrywind has used the Aegis here. Tycho Drums plus Lockdown equals dead Hurrywind. And now the rest of the Olympus Bolts surge in. They're delivering the last rites to the Jade Dragons under their left Phoenix. Barracuda gets one. Everyone getting involved. Happy birthday, Final K. The Bolts got you an L.
MVP goes to Jake for that engagement. Leaps in, burns Hurrywind's beads. Ragnarok's on the Panda Cat, burns both Hyper Carry's beads for the Jade Dragons. And what's Mike going to do alone? Not much. Barracuda credit for the kill.
My goodness, this was clinical, wasn't it, from the Olympus Bolts? We're jumping in fountains, we're jumping on the Titans, and we are jumping on the Bolts bandwagon. They take this one in 3 over the Jade Dragons. I don't know if any of these 3 games were particularly close, Sniff.
No.
I mean,
the set was close.
The set was close, and it was a fun